the intriguing and proactive world and reveal the answers you need to live a happy, healthier life. Now, here's your hosts, Michelle and Roger Welch.
Hello, how are we all doing tonight?
Awesome. What's happening with you tonight?
Just rolling out of bed, trying to take a nap and getting up here. And so that I can see my good friend that I haven't seen in like 2 years. We've talked, but a lot of people are excited that he's on tonight. Went over to it's Dakota Lawrence, you guys, and went over to the warehouse today, and they're like, "Oh, Dakota's on." Yeah.
Was that thrilled or warning?
No, it was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were happy. So I'm happy to introduce. I'll let you introduce our guest.
Go ahead. You got it.
No, you got it. Go.
No, you got it.
Okay, I'll introduce. I'm going to introduce to you guys. Y'all all know him anyway. Dakota Lawrence. He is a medium. He isn't. Dakota, you can tell more about yourself. I'm not reading a bio because it's like, God, I know. Everybody knows Dakota. Do we really need to read bios about Dakota? But he's a medium, and he does one of the best things about Dakota, as far as that he offers, are his galleries where 40, 50, 100 people come, however many people, and he will read for the people. That's a gallery, or then he'll read for certain people in the audience, right, Roger?
Yep.
And because of COVID and everything, we haven't gotten to see Dakota in a long time. We've had everything planned, and so Dakota, I'm really glad to see you. We talk a lot on the phone, but it's been 2 years since we've gotten to hug each other, actually see each other, and now finally it looks like you're going to come to Soultopia, right?
Yeah, next weekend.
Okay.
It's been a long time coming. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been 2 years, but at the same time, it feels like it was 3 months ago. But that's been the weird part about COVID is, some things feel forever ago and some things feel like they were just last week.
Yeah. So you got a new house, though.
I did.
You and Joe.
And that has been a nightmare in all the best ways.
Yeah.
I always say you don't have 2 gays working together to pick out a house because it's I want this color, and it has been a lesson in patience. And then, of course, we're coming back from Mardi Gras.
Poor Joe.
Today is officially Mardi Gras, but this whole weekend was a giant party. So I'm still in water and Pedialyte recovery right now.
That's okay.
So
Good.
I'll be good by next weekend.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about. I want everybody to come to your gallery where you kind of tell your whole story, but tell us just like a little teaser about what you do and what you'll be doing when you're here at Soultopia, and tell us, Roger, what weekend that is. Go ahead before he says.
It's actually not this weekend. It's the following weekend, which is the 12th, 13th.
Okay. And so, Dakota, if you could just tell us a little bit about what you are doing when you come to Soultopia, and also just how that ties into you, overall what you do with your mediumship and your different forms of practice that you do for your work.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to number one being back. Like I said, it's been over 2 years now, which is crazy to think about. But whenever I come into Soultopia, I do what I call my group gallery reading, which is where we don't sit in a circle and hold hands and stuff like that, but we all sit, typical audience style, and I'll pick out people from the audience and I give them a reading. The readings can, of course, be mediumship, which is the most popular, but also life questions. And I kind of tell some of the story of how I got involved in this industry, the fact that now I've hit 20 years professionally, which is also crazy to think about. And just kind of from there, and I mean, my show, I've always made it be a fun, little bit off-the-wall show. I do my shows in a very comedic approach to where the work is still serious, but even if you don't get read, you're going to have a good time.
That's true. Because I have never, and I don't know if you realize this, Dakota. Of course, you've read for me plenty of times, but in the galleries, I never raise my hand because I want everybody else to have a chance. So I've never, in one of your galleries, you've never read for me. You did read for Roger after
The last one.
the last one with your cousin, right? And your
And
cousin and grandmother came up. But so that's, and I always enjoy every single time, going and listening to you. Of course, I love you to death, so that's part of it. But
Thank you.
yeah. So how do you think, Dakota, that I guess because you deal with such serious issues all the time, a lot of, mediumship can be people that are sad, and you just said that you add in that comedic approach. Do you think that will help you as opposed to maybe some other people that would be going back into this work after these difficult times that we've been in? Do you think that helps you because you already kind of blend your humor anyway?
So I think that, right now, I think all of us, to some degree, either we know someone who has passed from COVID, but we've all been touched by it in one way or another.
Right.
Those that haven't, it's very rare. And I think that now with getting back out there, it's weird. It's still kind of different, but I was doing, in 2019, I was gone 41 weekends, was how many events I did. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this too long. I need to slow down. I need to quit this. I'll do like 10 events a year. That's it. COVID hit. And I'm like, okay, 2 months off, no big deal. But I think that it showed me how much I missed it. And also now looking at this, I think that using comedy and having us gather again to be able to laugh and be able to enjoy ourselves, I think is so vital now.
Right. I totally agree. I think the people that we see coming to the stores and we've been seeing come in for readings or whatever they're coming, or just a shop, they really want some joy, they want answers, but they also want to see, a way forward with joy, knowing that this may be a little bit of a new normal, right, Roger?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and especially, I think it was the past couple of weekends, or times that I've been up here, I read a lot on Mondays. You're right. Almost, everybody's been touched in some way by COVID. If not that, something else during this time, because there's been so much go on with work and the economy and everything else. So, we have all kinds of people, but it feels like, I will tell you, in Dallas, it feels like things, Matt, you can chime in, it feels like things are getting, cross our fingers, getting a little billing more back to normal. Would you agree?
I think so. I certainly have seen a lot of, places toned down. It feels like people are going about their lives more like they used to. I don't know whether or not that's a good or a bad thing, but it does seem to be happening. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
I think people are still being safe. The ones that, you're going to have, stupid people everywhere. You're going to have people everywhere that don't know how to behave.
Cool.
But,
It's just like, we had, our first, real Mardi Gras season. We had just wrapped Mardi Gras in 2020 when, of course, everything hit the fan. And it was canceled last year. And like I said, this weekend was incredibly fun.
good.
I realized that now I'm in my mid-30s and I'm not in my 20s anymore. So I can't enjoy Mardi Gras like I used to.
I can barely go to.
Have gotten me. I've already given myself the COVID test. I'm like, wait, is this allergies or is this hungover? Is it COVID? It's trying to figure out what's normal now and what's not.
Right. That makes sense. And for me, I went to New Orleans we went with you guys to New Orleans, and hey, it wasn't even Mardi Gras, and I was passed out by the first day. Dakota said, drink this.
Both of you,
everything that New Orleans trip.
both of you were that same boat.
Yeah.
First day.
We had fun. I think I would have bought everything in town. I was like, Dakota, you need this. Joe, I like to dress Joe. Joe, you need to buy this. And so we were going in every store, weren't we? It was fun. But I didn't even handle that well. I don't think I did well with Mardi Gras.
No,
I am definitely feeling the age.
no.
Yeah, right? But I'll get better. Okay, so you're also going to do readings when you're here, right? Just private readings.
Yes. I'll be doing one-on-one sessions as well, which of course, those are 30-minute sessions, and those go into it's more of a detailed session that we have together where you can, of course, do the mediumship readings, the life questions, love, career, money, finance, all of those things. So I'll be doing one-on-ones on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
But my group reading will just be Saturday only.
Okay, so I'll say to everyone listening or to anyone watching or listening to this later, make sure you go ahead and sign up right after this because I know that it's going to start taking off really fast.
Actually,
it always
did last
does.
night.
It started last night, and
We just announced it officially last night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
And
were
I
several.
think Roger, like 5 minutes later, he doesn't say anything. He just sends me the first reading that was booked. He's like, it's already happening. And I'm like,
yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
So
welcome.
And there was a couple more
Don't-
too after that. I just didn't send them to you.
for all those of you who Dallasites are notorious for putting everything off, I think, till the last minute. They're like, I'm not
Yeah.
sure I want to commit. Hey, I get here, I roll in. I'm the perfect
Michelle's kind of the
example.
same way. Oh,
No.
wait. Oh, we got podcasts. Okay,
Oh yeah,
Used
oh,
to that
that's
every
not.
week.
Yeah, but signing up for things, people are really. I think Dallasites are really
They're last minute.
last minute.
Very
So
last
you
minute.
can't be on this one, you guys, or you're not going to get a spot. Okay, so you got to go ahead and sign
Yeah,
up.
the easiest way too, guys, if y'all are out there wanting to know where to sign up, just so we'll actually post it again later. But if you go to the Soultopia Facebook page, go to events, you'll see Dakota's 2 events for readings and for the Saturday night. Click on those; it'll give you the links where you can actually buy tickets.
It's also if you're watching on the Facebook SoulWhat page, it's in the description of this video that
Awesome.
you should be watching right now.
Perfect. Thank you,
Find it
Matt.
there.
So, what kind of shenanigans are we going to get into, Dakota? We haven't seen each other. Is Joe coming?
I'm going to try to make them come, but no promises. I'm going to try though.
Okay, do you see my face?
I
It
mean,
was
we
happy.
need,
Now
you
it's
need
like,
to come visit us for a weekend.
yeah, I really want to do that, and I mean it.
You've been saying that for years.
Yeah, I mean, but I've also been saying I'll go visit my daughter at law school, which is in Waco, and I haven't really done that either. So, it's just kind of getting me.
I know. We're going to get into something though. But we never plan out our plans. They just kind of happen.
That's why I like it, because if I plan something, I tend to dread it. I know how weird that's that Dallasite thing. Even though I'm from Longview, I'm not really from Dallas. I'm from little old Longview, Texas. But I don't.
You mean like let's take a trip and then we plan the trip and it's I can't find my damn hairbrush.
Yeah, we
We
got to
can't go.
cancel. I can't find my hairbrush. Yeah, that happens all the time. Every single trip. But Dakota's coming here, so, that's easy.
He'll probably forget his hairbrush too.
Yeah, well, he needs one. Then let's talk about that. Look at your hair.
I know. I was going to grow it out and donate it. Now I've grown it out and I've come to like it. And I was going to go back with the short, spiky hair, but of course, I'm not my mid-20s size anymore. And I realized that with the short, spiky hair, I look like a pineapple. So the long hair is going to stay for a while.
Okay. Well, I don't know about
embrace
the
it.
pineapple. What
Oh,
do you
no, it's
what do you
totally-
have against
yeah,
pineapples,
yeah.
Dakota?
Well, nothing against pineapples. If my head looks like a damn pineapple, then it's a problem.
Yeah, I had
You
to.
could paint it yellow, paint it all yellow. Little SpongeBob on the side.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
It's
kind of
not
looking
gonna
at them.
happen.
It's just like nothing. So I chopped off like 5 inches off my hair because it was all falling out after having COVID in September. And I literally said, "What are you doing wrong to me with my medicine, my hormones and everything?" They were like, "Just Google it. It's common for people who've had COVID." And so I just cut it, and it's growing really fast.
It's growing back.
Yeah, it'll grow. It grows. That's what happens
does.
with hair. Yeah. So, what else is going on? Oh, I'm just still back on the fact that Joe may or may not be coming.
That's going to
because
bother her, you know that, right?
I can't do the rest of the
it's her
show.
boyfriend. She really doesn't care about having me in town, guys. She's only after my man.
That's
what it
extremely
really
true,
is.
actually.
I do love Joe. I love Dakota,
It's your
but
favorite.
Joe is.
I know my place.
No, I love you both, but I do like. I really love Joe. I kind of like and tolerate you. No, I'm kidding. That's
Yeah, tolerate's a strong word on that one.
no. We love Dakota. Okay, so and if people are listening, if you have questions for Dakota, you can certainly. We'll certainly ask, and if he doesn't want to answer them, he will tell you he doesn't want to. But one of the things that I like best about your, I'm going to go back to that, how you blend that humor and stuff into your, you call it a show. Let's just talk about that at first. Because some people might not understand that. Like, well, why is he calling it a show? Is it a show? Is he legit, or is this a show? So explain what you mean by that.
So whenever somebody comes to one of my group readings, let's face it, nobody comes to me and their life is perfect. It's not like, oh, everything's going great. Let me go see my psychic. That's not the way this works. Whenever I do a mediumship reading and the group gallery sessions, so many sad things tend to come up. Of course, with death and grieving processes and things like that, it can get dark very, very quick. So I use a lot of my own comedy, a lot of my own life story that I share within my show to keep the vibration high. Because if I just sat there and just doled out reading after reading after reading after reading, we would all leave there like it was the worst Liza Minnelli concert ever. It would just be lower and lower and lower and lower. And I mean, it would be an absolute crap show.
I get that, and it's not. It's always a really good show, and you do leave feeling. I've never heard anybody say they left feeling worse,
No,
or
not
even if they get a reading from a loved one. You always have a good way of your delivery. It's because of your experience too. You've done it for 20 years. You know what you're doing. I have a question for you. So, have you gotten any more presents accidentally at your house from me?
No, I have not yet.
So you guys, I sent, I think I sent, I never used to order from Amazon, just so everybody
But wait,
knows.
was the Dolly Parton book for me?
Yeah, that's yours.
Or no?
No, that was yours.
Okay.
And then I sent a shirt
Okay.
for Joe. There was a shirt. It
Okay,
was
we
supposed
got
to be
that.
for
I
Joe.
told you, thank you for that.
Yeah,
But then I started getting like random decks of cards, and I was like, and I put it on Facebook, I'm like, okay, who sent me this Oracle deck?
Which is
I'm
nothing
like-
that Dakota would ever like. I mean, it would be like your most un-Dakota-ish deck, and then he gets it, and I'm like, oh,
I noticed that,
that
on
was
the,
me.
I noticed that on the Amazon account that all of a sudden it had your name and address at the top for default delivery. I'm like, well, who the hell's ordering Dakota shit?
And it was
Delete that shit.
It was me, but
Well,
I sent them gifts and I wanted to save it so I don't have to next time I see something I want to give them. But I didn't
You
mean
changed
to.
it to default though.
I didn't though.
It's a good thing I didn't send him something.
That was just magic of Amazon.
I've been pissed.
It sent
But
it.
no, but the thing was, and that was the worst part about it is that it was so not a me gift.
It was.
And I was like, hey, you sent me
You
this
were.
great gift. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be grateful. Dakota, don't be an ass.
But he knows
Be
to me.
nice.
You know, to me, you can go, Michelle.
Yeah.
What the? I know you like the Dolly gift, right? You love
Do I?
Dolly. You liked your book.
Oh,
right?
it's
Yeah.
Dolly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, some stereotypes are true. We all love Dolly.
So I saw, you've told me you love Dolly. And so I saw the Dolly book and I thought, I'm going to save this for other things that I see that Joe and Dakota need. It'll just be there. And I have, Trevor or the kids, and then I have Joe and Dakota. All of a sudden, I see that on Facebook and I'm going, who would send Dakota that deck? They don't know him very well. And then I realized it was
you.
me. I'm like, okay, Dakota, just bring them back. And just bring whatever it is back, and we'll get you something
But
here
you're
that
so
you
sweet
actually
about
like.
it. You're like, but if you want the deck, you can totally keep it. And I'm like, Michelle, you know I don't want it.
And no, but
know
what
it's
do you
not, yeah.
say? And no, I didn't send it to you. I'm not that stupid. I actually know you. I wouldn't send you that deck. It's funny.
But it was a perfectly needed laugh. It was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it worked out great. Yeah.
It was really funny just to see it on like I'm looking on Facebook and I'm like judging this person who's such an idiot who would send him that deck. Like, who would send him?
At least you called it right.
They really don't know Dakota at all. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think it's me.
Then you called me. That was the best part.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Whenever Michelle's phone call starts out with, hey. I'm like, what did you do? Hey, I'm like, oh God. There's like Hayhyy. I can't even pronounce, I can't even do a good impression.
Like a
of it.
4-syllable hey. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, it's like it drops and it picks back up, and it's just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, let's go.
But well, I love you guys, so I just want to make it right. But you can bring all. How many things arrived there besides that? Were there more, or
That's
just
it right now.
okay?
But I get excited. Like so we have the cat's food delivered, and so I had the notification that UPS was coming, and I was so hoping it was going to be another Michelle surprise.
Well, I have to
And then I
start
opened the
doing
door,
that.
and it was the Chewy bag, and I was like, damn it.
I'm gonna have to start sending some stuff. Well,
Just
Roger,
start sending random crap now. Yeah.
tell us some of the wonderful things that I got.
She ordered something today, and I had to go on Amazon to see what it was.
No, I'm talking about in the past.
In the past,
like over COVID Christmas. What did
jewelry that's like, what the hell are you wearing? I mean, it's like
No, I got good jewelry. The jewelry's good. Look
No.
at this, Matt. It's got
No.
spaceships. Do you see?
that one's cute. They're not all. They're not all
Yeah,
cute.
they got.
Matt.
You see, y'all? They got spaceships.
I don't know if the folks can pick that up, but
Here.
yeah, they're at the top.
There,
That's kind of cool.
right there.
Except the
Where am I
mic's in the way.
supposed to be?
She's
Okay,
trying.
so
She's
there-
trying, but
I'm
not
trying
gonna
hard,
work.
but I have no
But-
idea which camera.
Have you ordered any clothes though from Amazon that you've actually worn? Be honest.
Oh, we got this in.
Nope.
We got this in. I like the shirt because it says "Don't make me go on metaphysical on you," but we got that in the Smoky Mountains.
We got that in the Smoky Mountains.
Anything I've ordered that I've actually
Clothing-wise.
worn? No, I
No.
don't think so.
She has not worn a single piece of clothing that she's ordered from Amazon, and she orders something clothing-wise every week.
Nah, not every week. But I ordered some really good, like exfoliating rags. But I got like 100. I meant to order like 10. And then I got these little things for your, your head that you can
shampoo
scrub
scrubs.
to put
You know
the
the shampoo
conditioner
scrubs?
through your hair. And I meant to order like one. And I think I got like 25.
Yep.
So I'm not real good at putting the number in for
You
how
just
many.
hit add to cart.
Yeah, but she continuously hits because it doesn't. You know how there's a little bit of a lag, so she just keeps hitting.
Yeah.
Add.
I do that too when I write. You guys, I turned in my second thing today, my galley, and
Your final.
my final galley on my second book on Spirits Unveiled. But it was actually hard because Roger bought me a PC because he is not a Mac person, and so now I'm supposed to learn after all these years of using Mac. I'm supposed to learn how to do a PC
An easier way
your way.
is easier.
Right. So that took forever because, I don't use a mouse either because I break them.
It doesn't have a mouse.
I know, but I think I need one. Anyway, back to Dakota.
There's one sitting right there.
Let's go. Back to Dakota. Oh, show Dakota your. So, Matt, Dakota likes Bigfoot too. Dakota has a lot
that's
of
good to know.
friends. Dakota has a lot of friends that are speakers and.
Well, he's in Bigfoot country, right? Like that's
Close, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Matt did a whole documentary on Bigfoot. Not a whole. Well, a whole.
No, we shot a
A
bunch.
whole. What's the name of it?
It is called Devil's Creek, and
good.
yeah, it was shot up in the Pacific Northwest in the Olympic Peninsula in Washington.
Yeah, it's really
nice.
high. It's very high quality, Dakota. And so, along those high qualities, we have sound effects for our show. Which one's for Dakota? Can you hear that?
This is more like Dakota right there.
That's
That
you.
sounds more like a fart than it does a fart.
That's exactly what I said. It's more like you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Which one's mine?
it's true.
Hey. Hey. How you doing?
Yeah, that one's yours.
I bet we could get one that says that. Hey.
So Dakota, when did you first know that you were psychic? Like really know?
Unfortunately, I never had that big, for me, it was growing up, the entire intuitive world, all of those things like that. But I was with my mom and my grandmother. So they were both intuitive themselves. My grandmother was also a reader. So for me, this world was actually very commonplace. So I never realized it was different. I was an only child. So growing up around this stuff, it was always, common practice. And there's an old interview, if you YouTube it, from the Psychic Kid stuff. And it was my premonition of 9/11. And that was actually when I realized that not everyone did what I did, and not everybody did what my family did. So while the intuitive world was always there, my big aha moment was then. So I say that for most of my teenage and developmental years, that my closet was just a revolving door because I kept them coming out for a different reason.
Okay. Well, I will say the 9/11 aha is a pretty big aha moment. And you do tell that rest of that story. You guys need to come to the gallery because he sometimes tells that story. But it was a very, very, if that's going to be someone's aha moment, that was a big one. It's a really, really cool story, but I really don't want you to give it away right now. I want them to come to your gallery, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
He predicted 9/11, y'all, but he'll tell the story.
I don't want to go and have you yell at me about it, so
No.
I'll just keep my mouth shut.
Because the
That's
hay
smart.
changes to one syllable.
Hey,
Wait,
it's like a guttural hey.
what the fuck? That's three.
Yeah, I do say that actually. All right, so what else, Roger?
You know what? So I have a funny story. So
Oh, good.
My first appearance. So Roger and I have been friends. Roger and I were friends first, and then Michelle got jealous
Whatever.
and stole me.
She just,
And
she
then-
jumping on.
But
yeah.
Roger, and those that follow me and Roger on Facebook, Roger's family to me, point blank. Michelle obviously is too. But Roger and I show affection by how mean we are to each other.
Oh my God, y'all,
So
it's
we write
horrible.
we go for the immediate nut shot against each other. But the funny thing I was going to say was the first time I ever came to Soultopia, which I think was probably 2015 or 26. Was
the
it
year we
before
opened.
then?
It was when we opened.
Yeah, I think 16.
16
I think
maybe.
it was 16.
Okay, so it was when y'all just had the Carrollton location.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think y'all had just
We met
it was
in
fairly
15.
new.
I think we met in 15 and then opened, or you came here to 16.
Yeah, because we met I think in 13 or 14 through
Yeah.
Becca's event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the and that was where you and I originally met. Then I met Michelle there.
Yep.
But whenever I first did my first performance there, because my show and my personality, I'm very blunt, I'm very uncensored. And Michelle pulls me aside and she goes, "Okay, now listen. I respect what you do. And I know that you have a really unique style of doing things. But I just want you to do me one thing." And I'm like, "Okay." And of course, of course I love her. She's blonde. She's freaking walking Barbie, So I'm like, of course I'm going to adopt her. Like, she's one of mine. Come here. And I'm like, "Sure, baby. What is it?" She goes, "Whatever you do in your show, don't say fuck."
Things have changed
And
a
I'm
little
like-
bit around here.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Okay." And so I'm doing my show and I'm going through all of my thing. And then I let one slip accidentally, and I just froze and just went
I remember. It's true.
and just looked over at her like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "I didn't get paid in advance. I am so screwed."
No, and people still loved you, and we realized that you can get away with that. And
That's gonna be, if I ever can calm my ADHD down, is what I want my spiritual book to be called, is you can be spiritual and still say fuck.
well, that's true. And he says it almost every show, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I would
Roger
never
said
fucking
it
say
first.
it.
Yeah, Roger says it, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Roger said it before I did tonight.
Yeah, he
Give
does.
me credit.
Yeah, he did, because you knew that I'd be like, hey now, say that word on there.
Yep.
She'll get on to you. She won't me.
Yeah, how will you? Now I've just got between y'all two, I'm just like, please, I don't understand the mean humor, and I don't understand it, and so I'm like, I don't even want to hear about it. Like, are y'all okay? And he's like, yeah, it's just, guys, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, because if I did that, if I said one thing the way Roger says it or joke that way, we, it would not be good, right?
Now it's from her. It's just, please just don't embarrass me.
Well, stuff you put on Facebook, I'm like, oh my.
Oh no, I actually had somebody message me one time, and this was a couple years ago, that actually thought that Roger and I hated each other because we go at it so bad.
Yeah, and he has other
On
friends
Facebook.
like Neil. He does the same thing, But
Yeah.
well, y'all just send inappropriate texts to each other. And
I
I'm
send them to Dakota sometimes.
did you send him the
No,
bedazzled
but
one?
I'll send you my bedazzled picture later.
Matt, maybe you can get that one too.
Okay.
Yeah,
You'll like it.
Okay.
It's a bedazzled. I had to look at it twice. You know me, I don't ever get it. And I'm like, now what? Is that like pinned on those jeans? And he's like, no, it's bedazzled. You'll get it when you see it. You'll get it right away, Dakota. But it takes me a while to catch up. I'm like, I don't get it.
Actually, wait, let me see that picture again.
And I had to kind of stare at it. We were walking out of eating, and I had to look at it because I was thinking, he said, here are my bedazzled jeans. And I sent this to, whomever he sent it to. And I was like, is that appropriate to joke about? Because that's like a pinned on, thing right there. And he goes, no, it's not. It's a bedazzled. I thought there was a whole thing like pinned on the front of the jeans. I don't know. I don't get y'all's jokes.
Obviously.
Or I pretend like I don't get
Yeah, you don't get them.
Okay. So why don't you ask some questions
So,
to Dakota?
Well, we can move off of Dakota does more than just as a medium. Okay, in case y'all didn't know that, he also actually gets out. He does a lot of the different conferences, different actors, actresses, and things like that. So, what you've met a lot of different actors and actresses, right? Do you ever have one that's just
Yes.
like
That was what?
that you just ooh and awed over when you met them?
Like fangirled
You
over.
fangirled over one?
You did Chuck Norris a little bit, right?
Oh no, that was the paycheck. Oh wait, this is recorded. Oops. This is why I need a publicist. No, Chuck's great. I'm actually going to get to see Chuck in April again, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. No, Chuck's wonderful. His wife Gina's a doll. I'd have to say, I have to do the preemptive. I love all my talent and everybody I've gotten to work with through the years. But probably the one that I fangirled the most over would have to have been Carrie Fisher. And not
Yeah.
because of her being Princess Leia. It was just because of what she did for mental health
Yeah.
and breaking down so many boundaries for those that suffer like myself with mental health struggles. And getting to meet her and spend time with her and chat with her. She had such a gift of connecting with people that it wasn't so much as a fangirl moment as much as it was truly just getting to meet somebody that I idolized
That
so
you
much for
admire,
their
yeah.
work away from the camera.
Yeah.
And, just what she was able to do. Postcards from the Edge and her stand-up show and all those things like that. She just did so much for us.
Yeah.
And I admired her a lot. That was one of the only celebrity deaths that I truly grieved. That was super hard.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me like sometimes it's really good when you meet somebody that you think very highly of, and then they don't disappoint when you meet them. As opposed,
Oh, I've had that happen too.
you've had that. Can you tell
we
us?
don't talk about those on
Can
camera.
you? Can
no,
you?
not on
No,
camera.
you can't.
Will I tell you when I see you? Yes.
Yeah, of course you'll tell. Is it me?
Oh, yeah.
No. Hey. No, but hey.
No.
But no, I had that with we talk a lot and deal a lot with people who write books now and make decks and the card decks. And I met one who I used a lot. I read with his deck. That's all I'll say, a lot. And once I got to know him, people are like, you should be able to set that aside. And I'm like, here, I'll say the F word. No, fuck no. I am not setting that aside because that person is a total asshole, right?
She doesn't even know where the cards are.
I don't
now.
even know
she
where the cards
dumped the
are.
cards and doesn't even know where they are.
Yeah, but they were such a
And
jerk.
I think that, to me, there are, of course, actors that I'd love to work with that I know my odds are extremely small some are like, you always have like that one whale that you'll never get, but you want to get. But I always kind of want to keep those people at arm's distance because I don't want to ruin it if they're horrible.
Exactly.
Because and that's one thing, and that's it. With doing the booking work and the things like that, it's great. You get to see behind the proverbial curtain, like in Wizard of Oz. But there's a few that are interesting people.
Yeah. And a
That's
lot
a
of
good
them,
way of putting it.
and a lot of them have had hard lives too, and then they're doing the best they can. And that's, you got to always take that into account when you bring up the mental health. In my second book, and for those of you who don't know, well, I'll just tell you, Dakota and I talk about that a lot because we have a lot of that in common. And hopefully we're at different times where we can kind of lift each other up. But we've both been through things, and we have probably some chemical stuff, right? That both
100%.
of us. So I talk about it in the second book. Right before I turned it in, the final galley today, I looked at Roger one more time, and I was like, "You okay with this?" Called Ashley, or should I really put this out there? But it needs to be. I mean, people need to talk about that a little bit more. To say, people put people on these pedestals, and then, but they're going to need, I'm not saying me, but other people, they look at them a certain way, and they really need to know some of the things that they've gone through and overcome. Right?
And I think that that's something that I think that, people have to understand. And I've always said this, and it's an analogy that I've used probably, no lie, 10,000 times now, and I'm going to use it 100,000 more, is that needing treatment for depression is no different than a diabetic needing insulin, and is no different than a cancer patient needing chemo or radiation.
I agree.
We don't stigmatize people that need that kind of treatment. We shouldn't stigmatize mental health either.
No.
And I think that because I think that there's a disconnection there. When it comes to brain health, when it comes to a chemical imbalance, when it comes to the things like that, that people cannot tangibly understand. Well, my chemicals are thrown off. And I think that they struggle with that understanding. I think that they have a hard time with that understanding. And within that place, I think that's what we have to remove, is that there are so many of us that, you see out there like myself on tour, and you see so many of your celebrities and musicians that you look up to that are opening up now about their mental health. And I think that COVID also is going to have made some big shifts towards mental health, because for so many of us, myself included, I mean, both of my careers were pretty much wiped clean, in a matter of no time. With everything being shut down and with COVID and not being able to travel, that I went back into therapy. And I talked about that openly because I had things that, I thought were gone. They were kind of like, hey, I'm still here. And they kind of creep back up to the surface. And I think that COVID, even if we weren't affected by the virus itself, it was the time that we had to go and spend alone, and the time that we had to go and spend by ourselves, that really made us go and realize that mental health was real. And there are some people that I know that I don't want to say didn't believe in mental health, but had never experienced anxiety, had never experienced depression, because we were forced to spend time with ourselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't want to spend time with ourselves. And I think that COVID made people really kind of sit down, shut up, and listen, which I think was a great thing that did come from such a really challenging and difficult time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Are those cats meowing, or are those babies crying?
That's Peanut crying at the door because he can't get in.
Well,
And
that's just mean. You put Peanut outside?
Yeah.
You know those animal people are
Because
going to come
if I
after you.
didn't, he would
He
literally
is an
go and
animal
climb
person.
up.
I'm talking about the
Yes, I'm a huge animal person.
Hey, I
But
would
he would literally
mistreat
climb
him.
up on my lap, and he would be trying to get all over me on camera.
Well,
So-
let's hope at least this time on camera you're actually wearing pants. But
Yeah, last time
I
y'all.
actually did. Yeah. See, I wore
Oh,
pants.
yeah, okay, yeah, because last time he stood up afterwards and he's like, "Let me show you." But of course
he's wearing
now,
his boxers.
now with
I wasn't
Zoom and
showing
everything
you
else,
that I didn't have on pants.
yeah,
I was showing him that was in the living room, and then I walk across the living room like, oh wait, I mean, I still had on boxers. It wasn't like I bare assed you, but yeah, I have made sure in the time of COVID that when the camera's on, you have to have pants.
we found the funnest the funnest, is that a word?
The funnest.
The most fun, the funnest underwear in in New Orleans. You remember that, Dakota?
Obviously
He's
not.
straight facing it. He's like, I'm not joking. And then I have stories. I have seen Dakota's butt. Yeah, because we're gonna have to go back just to go get some fun underwear. That's where Joe needs to come.
No, but I'm trying to think.
You don't remember
'Cause
that
that was-
underwear? We went in a shop.
I
It was
remember
called, what was
we
it called?
drank
The
too
Rainbow
much.
Shop or the
that was-
something shop?
Yeah, on Bourbon Street. Yes.
Yeah. They were
Yeah, on
for
Bourbon
Joe, but then you put them on, right? And put them on backwards or something. Because you were
We're not
drunk.
going to talk about this on camera.
You
I
looked
mean,
cute.
now, if
I
this
still
was
have
like
that
a
picture,
late
though.
night, if this was like SoulWhat late night,
Can we
then could
post that
discuss
picture?
these things.
I still
Just
have
post that
I
picture.
still,
It'll be fine.
no, he'll kill me.
Post that picture and tag him.
No, I
No,
won't do
no,
it.
no.
See, that's how he knows I'm really his friend.
I'll go
because-
through and I'll find it and I'll post
But
it.
I think the best thing that we should appreciate was how thick my thighs are that I didn't have cellulite.
Well, that's true. You didn't have cellulite. I thought, you looked pretty
Mm-hmm.
good. But I was like, wait, who is that? I thought we bought that underwear for Joe. But that was a fun store.
I know which picture
yeah.
you're talking about now.
Yeah, you remember? We had fun. And we can vaguely remember some of the stores we went in. I had them talked into some jacket that cost like, I don't know, $900, $1,000. I was like, I'll buy it for you. Remember?
And I was like, yeah, no.
And then he's
'Cause
like,
we-
Obviously, too many purple
'cause I'm
voodoo
trying-
drinks
'cause
for
you
both of
flew
y'all.
down.
what?
Yeah, because you flew down,
Yeah.
and then Roger had driven down. So we had already been drinking for like, I think 3 or 4 hours.
Well, you gave me
Before
that
Roger got there.
death drink. You were like, it's got whey or something. And it's like, it was some sort of, it's like, no.
Wait, what?
What is it? It looked like granola.
What are you talking? No, that's probably what it looked like when you threw up because you had too many.
No, it was one. We went in this
It
little
was
hole
both
in the
of
wall.
them, Matt. They both were
and-
throwing up
and
when I
it
got
was-
there.
It's a great scene to walk in on.
But
Yeah.
it was,
Walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Dakota was like, you have to drink this. And it was this thick, like, what am I drinking? Oatmeal? You don't remember that? What drink is that? Okay, we'll move
I
on.
don't remember.
It was
I'm sitting
thick.
here.
It was deadly. I mean, I probably only had 2 or 3 sips.
Yeah.
What color was it?
Brown.
You can always tell it's a New Orleans thing when they, what drink we drink? What color was it? They know the color.
It
No,
wasn't a
because,
foo-foo
we
drink.
we started out drinking Jesters,
What
which
colors
are
are
the
those?
green daiquiris,
Yeah, wasn't it?
like kiwi green,
I don't
and
know.
those get you pretty toasty.
Well, maybe
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I feel like
I'm
I'm
pretty
like a living
sure-
GIF.
everybody
I think her
figure
color-
out what drink
I think her
that was.
colorblind. I think the colorblindness was wearing into it a
I'm
little
not
bit.
colorblind at all.
On that you were, because I remember when I got there, that's what y'all were drinking.
The green drink?
Yeah, the
Because we
green
were
drink.
drinking the Jesters.
Okay. Well, the green looked brown, pukey brown to me, but it wasn't because I puked it. All right, new subject.
You did too, though.
I puked for days. I think I was allergic to it. I have an allergy. I don't think I've drank since. Dakota's like, here, you have to have this. Drink the whole
Drink it.
thing.
And the problem is on a lot of those drinks like that, you don't taste the alcohol. Oh, this is actually pretty good, and then
Yeah.
it hits.
But it looked like oatmeal to me. That's all I know. It was.
It was a how
It's
does
a
a daiquiri? Okay, literally, it's okay.
It's
shut
frozen
up, baby
ice.
girl.
It's ice.
Literally shaved ice.
So just so y'all
It's
know,
literally-
this is every conversation ever between, you have insight into a true conversation between Michelle and Dakota. This is every conversation
I
ever.
mean, I want to know. I mean, I don't see how shaved ice. And usually by this time of a conversation with Michelle, I'm like 3 cigarettes deep.
You're
I'm
one
just
run
like, I
right
can't-
now. Peanuts
My
out there
nerves
smoking
can't
your
do this
cigarettes.
anymore. Huh?
I said Peanuts out there smoking your cigarettes. You go
He
out on
actually,
the
you know,
patio.
he will steal them. He
All
will try
right.
to steal them.
So, any questions for Dakota? I'm sure they're just going, what the?
Yeah, actually,
Wait, what?
let's see. Found gallery tickets, so they're schedule a book.
Good.
All
Thank you
right,
for getting the book. It's available for pre-order. It comes out in June.
Leslie, Dakota Lawrence, you need to come to Tide, which I told you that this morning.
We'll announce that at the end.
Yep. But Lexi wants to know what are you picking up on Soultopia up in South Dakota?
Ah, you remember Lexi, right? That's
She wants us to come and open a
he
store in
will.
South Dakota.
So their whole family, it's a Cologne family, the whole family. We
Yeah.
love them so much, and they moved to South Dakota about 3 years ago, and she still say they've all been like very loyal. And so there's the question. Ask it again. What is he picking up?
Yeah, what's he picking up on Soultopia going to South Dakota with them?
That's a long pause.
Do y'all have a trip up there in the fall? Or are y'all gonna go look at the area there in the fall, particularly towards around the end of October?
We might, but I'm going
In May.
in May for
Okay.
for graduation, for Belle's graduation.
Okay.
Is that
Because
not supposed to be a
actually do
surprise? Is
remember
it?
her now that like I'm doing my thing. Looking around October is when I feel like you'll find a location that you want to do it. I think that this would be a good thing for you to do. I like the energy there. I think the biggest thing is going to be getting Roger to agree to it.
Probably. Yeah. Clay can just say.
He's going to be.
Do
I
it.
mean, he's going to be the ass about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you
I mean,
go.
what's new?
What'd you say?
He said what's new.
Oh, I thought Matt said that.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
Matt, you got away from the microphone really fast. Like, what's new?
That was not me.
That was fast.
See, that's why Matt likes it whenever I come on, because I say what he wants to say, but he can't.
I can just keep my mouth shut the whole time.
No.
Yeah.
So
I know my place.
So anything else? On that?
Somebody wants to know if Dakota is your real name or and if it's heritage.
It is actually my true name. It is actually Sioux Indian for friend or ally. And whenever Mom was pregnant with me, I tried to say deuces about halfway through the pregnancy, and she was put on bed rest. And the true story of how I got my name was we did find out it was Sioux Indian for friend or ally. But Mom, being on bed rest and not miscarry me, had seen the name Dakota on The Price is Right from bed sheets. And she loved the name.
Interesting.
And she's like, this is a great name. She looked up the meaning and goes, oh my God, it means friend or ally. And that was it.
Hey, that's how you look for signs, right?
There you go.
So they're right in front of your face on The Price is Right.
Yeah. I got my name
that's
from The
Vanna White.
Price is Right.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool though. Now, are the Colognes? Are they Sioux or Lakota?
Lakota.
Lakota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And are those connected at all? Like the Sioux tradition? Because when I got the quilt, the star quilt from her, I thought there was a Sioux tradition of that, and then they're Lakota. She's gonna have to explain
You'll
that
have to
to
ask
me.
her on that one. I'm not.
When they
didn't know
moved,
that. That would be news to me.
I've shared this before, but when they moved, they gave me the star quilt, which is one of the highest honors you can give someone. It's a quilt called the star quilt from the tradition of the. She'll have to correct me, Sioux or Lakota. You better get that right because that's in the book.
I'm pretty sure
turned in.
Lakota, but
Yeah. So
I think
Lakota.
Lakota. Yeah, I think you're just blending.
Seems like Lakota would be Dakota would be Lakota instead of Sioux.
Well, so does dipshit start with a D too, but
No, I
you
mean
won't
it
let me
rhymes.
call him that all the
It
time.
rhymes, Lakota, Dakota. I mean, it's just a rhyme. It'd be a natural progression. I'm gonna always think
Dakota the Lakota.
it's yeah. Wouldn't that? It sounds like a wrestler. Dakota, the Lakota.
No.
He can wear those
Roger,
spandex.
did
He
you
can wear
answer
those
the chat
spandex.
questions?
He can spandex.
Can we
it.
not?
He can wear that
we segue
spandex
this now?
underwear again.
That
Like,
underwear.
I'm waiting for like the segue to kind of come in here.
Okay,
You know,
well-
come on.
No, I got the segue. Dakota, Lakota goes together to me better than Sioux. But whatever. What I
Well,
mean,
no, but
clearly I don't know.
but the name Dakota is from the Sioux language,
I got you.
and
I'm
it means
kidding.
friend or ally.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, especially the sheets, but it does rhyme with Lakota. So I'm going to be thinking Dakota means Lakota. By the way,
Well,
my,
and so does pagoda. You know.
Well, maybe is that cheese? Pagoda? Is it?
You brought it up.
Michelle.
You brought it up.
Michelle, you know how I do your show about once every 3 years, baby.
Because you love me.
This is why. This
I
is
know.
why
No,
I do
it's
it once
because
every
you
3
love
years.
me so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because it gives me enough time to forget all the bullshit that goes down on your show that I agree to do it again. And then when I'm on, I'm like, oh shit, I remember that now. Why am I
How
doing
do I
this?
dig myself out of this is what I think after every show. I was like, oh my God. Okay, so Roger, what other questions since my eyelashes falling off?
Your eyelashes are not falling off.
Yeah, it is. Okay, what next question do you have?
That was it.
Oh.
You didn't
So
tell
they're-
anybody to ask any
so they're
questions till
all-
just
well,
now.
he
So
didn't-
now
I-
they're going to
Well,
bombard
I
you
didn't
with it.
mean ask for readings. I just meant, do you have a question? Like that was a good one. What does
That
your
was a good
name
one.
mean? Dakota. I just learned your real last name.
Lexi said, we are looking. Yeah.
I didn't know your real. We won't say it unless you want to, but he told me.
She didn't know. She said, how do you
Oh,
know? I'm like,
wow.
because
I
he
think
told
I-
me.
I think I maybe
All right.
knew a long time ago.
So when is your new book going to be out?
It comes out in June. Honestly, it's already available for pre-order, and then I'm already writing my third one. And then Roger and I wrote a deck together. So lots of stuff, and it has Michelle Welch, which is not my real name. I'm kidding.
Okay, that's really okay.
No, it's in the hospital, and I signed up, and you sign in and everything, and I put Michelle Welch, and they were like, we don't have the right person here. It's like, oh dang, I forgot. That's not my legal name. I got to put my legal name because I feel like totally Michelle Welch, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah. All right, Roger, take it away.
Are you wanting to do a few readings so we can wrap up tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, if y'all want a reading, if y'all want a reading tonight, ask your question on the SoulWhat page there, and I will.
And we don't have.
We'll
I
give
mean,
you a
we have
couple
like
readings.
7 minutes, and while we're waiting to see if they.
While Dakota's counting down the minutes to get
While
off of here.
Dakota's like
He's
going,
like, oh my
what
God.
the hell?
And now I got to go to Texas.
Listen, so we do have this event coming up with Dakota. We want you guys to go ahead and book. We've told you how, and Matt even said it's in the Facebook. There's a link right there, so it makes it really easy for you guys. Book your reading. That is different. Just because you get a gallery reading doesn't mean you don't want to also get a private reading. So you can do both, or either or, right, Dakota? And
Yeah.
so that's coming up, and then we also have coming up, because I'm going to forget to say it when we do the readings. We do have a big event, our event that we came up with called the International Divination Event Tide. It's coming up in
May 20th.
May 20th. People from literally all over the world, speakers there, and a lot of people were organizing that. So you want to go ahead and start getting your tickets for that, you guys. If you live in Dallas, you don't have to stay at the hotel, but a lot of people are because it's fun.
Plus, there's a disco party.
And on Saturday
Who doesn't
night.
want to go discoing?
And so there's all kinds of stuff. And so go to, but you've got to spell it out when you look it up, like the International Divination Event, because if you put in Tide, you're going to get the detergent. Okay, so just spell out the whole thing and like Google it and sign up.
The
It's that easy.
International Divination Event.
Exactly. And then in October, we have the one in Portland, which is the Northwest Tarot Symposium. So yeah, we will try to get Dakota at one of those. Now, do we want to get us some readings?
Sure.
I know. I mean, that was. You got 2 of them now. Yeah. I remember when you were first working on that project.
Yeah, because you got a lot of phone calls about that, didn't you?
I got a lot of contract questions, and you got to see the lawyer side of me come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I'm like,
Yeah.
no. No.
Yeah, you were good. Well, because that's what you do. All right. So Dakota, I believe, has agreed to do a couple readings with
Yeah.
us. Is that right, Dakota?
Yes.
Okay. We only have 5 minutes, so let's take a couple, and then we'll do our 1, 2, 3 thing to close.
All right, so Angela. Well, Angela, you put down you want a reading. Then you asked, will I get to come to see you in Dallas for a reading? But I'm going to say Angela's reading's first question was just for like a general reading. And now, Angela, you need to come to Dallas for a reading.
Yeah,
with
we'll
Dakota.
answer that.
Yes.
Yes, you can come and get a reading from Dakota, right? And so we're gonna just do what we're gonna do, Dakota. If you want to play along, is for Angela, we're gonna do a general reading, just one card like lightning round reading. Roger, you want to go first?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. All right, Angela. So I got the death card. Nothing scary there at all. But the biggest thing is you got a couple of things coming up in the next month that you're going to have to start preparing for these changes happening. And it's really, this month is going to be real intense. This month of March is going to be super intense for you. So you need to get ready for it and start preparing for these changes. And when I say get prepared for it, it's actually the kind of the mindset of things, that things are going to be changing, that you have things happening.
This was not on, is it? Okay, so I was trying to use a camera that's not on because we have the beautiful Dakota on. I got the King of Cups. And what I get for you, Angela, is that this is actually about someone that were very, very close to. I do feel like this is somebody that you might get in touch with when you meet with Dakota, or because I feel like they're either in spirit or you have not seen them in a really long time. It does feel like a male figure, even though kings don't have to be male or female. It feels like a male. And I feel like there's a real strong emotional attachment with this person, but you need a lot of more information than we can get in this short period of time. So I would highly encourage you to come to the gallery and book a reading with Dakota. So that's my reading. Dakota, do you have anything?
Okay, hey Angela, how are you, baby? And for you right now, I keep on getting pulled to right before the holidays. So I'm going to go right around mid-November. That was when I started to feel you going through this very strange time of almost, I want to call it your own period of like self-actualization. I do feel like you did go through the normal holiday up and down roller coaster, but I keep on feeling that everything is culminating now to where it's like your path is being cleared out, but it's almost you've cut out the bullshit, you've gotten rid of this, and now it's like, this is what I want to keep, this is what I want to keep, this is the direction I want to go into. And I feel from that energy going into, I feel like that purging process is coming to a close. I think that's where Roger really saw the death aspect being there. But then I keep on getting pulled to, you're finishing this up now, looking into April. That is when I feel like you're going to start to have the growth finally show itself. And I feel like this will be a time to reconnect to those that matter most to you, but also it's the reconnection to yourself.
Very good. So do you want to do one more?
Yeah,
or
we'll do
one,
one
two,
more,
three?
and then we'll do
Okay.
the 1, 2, 3. So the next one here is Kelly.
Okay.
Just
is
a
it
general reading?
again? Okay.
General reading.
So, Dakota, can you start with Kelly? You want to start, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first. We'll take turns
Well,
going first.
All right, Roger, go first because I'm.
All right. So Kelly, I got the 5 of Cups. So Kelly, with everything you got going on right now, one thing is I need you to stop focusing on what's actually in the past of things and kind of dreading on those things and kind of overthinking. It's easy to say, right? But stop overthinking that and actually looking forward of the things that you have going on that's coming at you. So take that time and look at those things that are actually coming for you here really fast.
Okay, so I drew a crystal card, one of our Soultopia crystal cards, and I got the Desert Rose Selenite. And I love those. They're beautiful. They look like a Wheatie. Wheaties that you eat? That's what they look like. But don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. But they're really pretty. And one of the things that jumped out at me about Desert Rose Selenite is one of the things that it does is it dissolves your self-imposed negative thoughts. So when we sort of start spiraling into our negative thoughts, kind of our thoughts create our reality, sometimes the more we just say, I'm down, I'm down, I'm down, doesn't mean we don't want to recognize, like we were talking about Dakota and I earlier, the things going on in our life and acknowledge those things and work through them. But the more we just spiral, and I feel like the Desert Selenite is telling me that there's an area where you sometimes tend to spiral in those negative thoughts. It's like this, and then it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. And that is your thoughts creating reality. So I'd say just be careful about that. Yep.
And Michelle, what I was picking up was really close to what you were getting in line as well. Being mindful of the anxiety aspect and feeling the anxiety. I feel like that's a big thing going on for you right now, sweetheart. So I feel that the one thing that I feel is that you're starting to notice, and I feel like this has been, I keep on seeing the numbers 2 to 2.5. I want to say like the last 2 to 2.5 months is when you started to go and see now this space and energy of recognizing when your triggers are happening and recognizing when you see yourself losing that sense of control, when you see yourself going into that space now. So be mindful of that energy now, because I feel like you are on more of a self-correcting process. You're going to see that start to really come forward for you also more around the month of May, when I really see like you're going to be like, okay, I've got this now. And you're going to have a better grasp of control over it.
Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do, thank you, Dakota, for doing that with us. One of the things we do to close out our show is we do, and we're a couple minutes over, so we'll go really fast. We do a 1, 2, 3. I'll close it, the number 3. Roger, you're going to be number 1. Dakota's going to be number 2. I'll be number 3. And Matt, you'll sit this one out tonight, because we'll just do 3 to get out of here.
That's fine.
But everybody set your intention. Just decide on which one for the week. Just this week, Dakota. If you want to reading number 1, just like pulling a card. Do you want number 1, number 2, or number 3? And Roger, you're going to go first.
All right, so for the number ones, I got the Temperance card. And with this card actually for you this week, I see you need to take a step back and find a better balance, of a better foothold of where you are. It seems like you got a lot of things happening around you, and it's throwing you off balance. But what I want you to do is actually take a step back, steady yourself before you move forward.
Okay. So for all the number 1s, if you chose number 1, if you chose number 2, Dakota's going to have this week's reading for you, Dakota.
Okay. So for number 2, as soon as I focus in on what this meaning should be for this week, I'm being shown a divided face. And I see from this divided face, I'm seeing colors of red and colors of orange, which is showing me right now to letting go of anger and letting go of things you can't control. And I feel that for number 2 this week, it's about finding the balance between the good and the light, the good versus evil kind of thing, and find that there has to be a balance of 2 to truly have enlightenment. And understanding that from anger comes growth, and from sadness comes growth, and all the negative emotions do bring out positive outcomes as well.
Very good reading for number 2s. And y'all know I always choose 2, so that's a great reading for me also. For the number 3s, I pulled a crystal for you guys as well. And I pulled the beautiful blue, like the ocean water. It's the Larimar that comes from the Dominican Republic. It's a beautiful, beautiful crystal. And it has a very soothing energy to it. It soothes your throat chakra, but it also soothes your anxiety. So the anxiety's coming up again for the number 3s here for this next week. There might be some anxiety that comes to you. And what I'm getting is to, again, don't try to deny it. But then I'm also getting something about expressing it with our throat chakra. That could even be writing it down to try to face, like look at the fear and say, what's the worst? And then once you face that fear, the anxiety seems to subside a little bit for the number 3s. Okay. The Larimar is also known really quickly as the Atlantis stone or the Lemurian stone. And so for that water energy, and any of you that connect with that, and the Lemurians were very, very, very loving, and it had a lot of equality to them. And that, I think that compassion is starting to come out with a lot of us again. We were all getting a lot of hateful and mean, and not just 3s, a lot of people. And now we have this, I'm seeing more and more compassion from people, especially with the sadness of what's going on with Ukraine right now, which we send out loving vibes to them. They are amazing people. So that's a Larimar, a lot with Larimar. That's why people like Larimar so much. It's not just beautiful. It's just a really, really gentle, loving, compassionate stone.
Yep.
All right. So do you want to close this out and tell how to sign up for Dakota?
Yeah. So like Matt said, in the link for the show here, you'll actually see the links for the tickets for Dakota's show on the 12th and the 13th. The 12th is actually the evening will be the gallery show, but you can also on the 12th and the 13th book individual bookings with Dakota for readings. If you go to the Soultopia Facebook group and look at events, you'll see those tabs for the events, and you can find the links there also.
And if they're not on Facebook, one more time.
Go to our website, and you will find those actually listed there to link you back to the Facebook, because even if they're not on Facebook, they still can find the links.
Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. And Dakota, thank you as always for being willing. We know that when people see you, they're going to be so happy. And now that you've been on the show tonight. We had a lot of fun. It's because we miss each other. I miss you so much. I love you and Joe so much. You're such a wonderful person.
Especially Joe.
And we're so we're so excited to have you back in town, and we are looking forward to a sold out crowd and to everybody getting the wonderful readings. Obviously, you can see from the readings tonight that Dakota is a very accomplished reader. So we look forward to seeing you. And also, everybody go ahead and sign up for that Tide event. And we will see everybody and Dakota next week, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right? And
Next
then Dakota the next weekend.
Yes.
Right? And so to everyone, have a
Week and a half
wonderful
away.
night. Have a wonderful night. And we really, really do appreciate you, Dakota, and everyone listening joining
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Good night, guys.
Have a great night.
Thanks for listening to SoulWhat, a Soultopia production. If you're intrigued, searching, or looking to schedule a reading of your very own, visit us in sunny Dallas, Texas, or visit us online at facebook.com/Soultopia Holistic Boutique. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting platform to be the first to hear new episodes every Tuesday at 7:30 Central.